Good morning. Welcome to Terry's Kitchen, where we talk food, faith, and family. So today is St. Patrick's Day, and we are going to be making corned beef, cabbage, and potatoes. And with the corned beef, I'm using it, putting it in the slow cooker, so we have to start early because it's a 9-10 hour cooking time. But first, I would like to read out of the NIV Bible. Psalm 133. How good and pleasant it is when brothers live together in unity. It is like precious oil poured on the head, running down on the beard, running down on Aaron's beard, down upon the collar of his robes. It is as if the dew of Hermon were falling on Mount Zion. For there the Lord bestows his blessing, even life forevermore. So I certainly want you all to have a really blessed day, and thank you for letting me read that. So let me wash my hands and we'll start the process of assembling our corned beef. Okay, I have my scrap pot ready to go. So my crock pot I've placed on low to get that started because you want it to slow cook all day. So it is on low, heating up. We have our 3.5 pound corned beef. We have our seasoning packet, bay leaf, garlic, 2 onions that I've chopped, and the potatoes, carrots, and cabbage, which will go in later in the day, throughout the day. And I have 2 cups of Guinness beer and 1 cup of water. So all of that is kind of building on that corned beef flavor. Not everybody likes corned beef. I made it a couple years ago for our family for the first time. And Ron and I loved it, and our son-in-law Chris liked it, but Catherine and the others were like, I'm not a big fan. So, but you know, Ron is full Irish, so we need to have corned beef and cabbage on St. Patrick's Day. So let me pop the lid off here. So I'm going to first layer the onions on the bottom of the crock pot and cut them up rather chunky like this and just put them on the bottom. And then you're going to put your corned beef. Now corned beef is this cut of meat, this brisket. It's a very tough, and that's why you need that long cooking time for it. So let me get all those good juices in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is anytime you buy your brisket, it'll come with the seasoning packet. So you want to sprinkle that over the top. And now we are going to pour the Guinness over, because you just want to bring that up to the bottom of the brisket. Okay, so let me see if you can see. It's just covering, starting about the middle of the brisket, and I have 4 garlic cloves that I've just sliced, and I'm going to put that on top. It's a good thing my mom's not coming for dinner because she does not like garlic. So, and I have 3 bay leaves that I'm just going to put around. Probably put it down in here. And then what we'll do is we're going to put the lid on. The time is about 5 after 8. What it calls for that 3 hours after you've started the corned beef cooking, that you're going to add the potatoes. So I'm going to peel the potatoes and cut them up in probably chunks about like that. Then I'm going to cut the carrots, and I'm going to have probably a 2-inch chunk of carrots, because I love carrots. So we'll cook that, and then 2 hours before we're about ready to eat, I'll have the cabbage sliced, and then we'll add that to the crock pot. So we'll be back shortly.
Okay, Terry is gone and you're all in trouble because she left me here to take care of this part. She has cut up potatoes and she has cut up carrots, and because of their hardness they go in about now. There's cabbage that still goes into this, and so I'll go ahead and do that. Smells pretty good, actually. Let me check my cheat sheet here real quick. She said to let you know she'll be back in about 2 hours. If she's not back in 2 hours, I'll be cutting cabbage. But she said because it's St. Patty's Day and my family's pretty much Irish, I can tell a story, and this is a true story. My grandfather, which I never met, and his cousin were at my Aunt Jenny's on Pringle Hill, and that's up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and if you're from there, maybe you'll know where Pringle Hill is, but it was, I guess, pretty much Irish then. Anyway, they were at it. My dad loved his Aunt Jenny. She was a wonderful person, and I had to call my cousin Riri just to check with her because I couldn't remember Aunt Jenny's name. Anyway, the story's this. My grandfather and his cousin, they were at their grandfather's wake, and at that time it was held in the house. And wakes in Pennsylvania, I don't know if they've changed any, I doubt it, but especially with the Irish, there's usually drinking, and there's probably quite a bit of drinking that had went on. And they thought it would be funny to take their dead grandfather out on the front porch, put him in a rocker, and then they called the police to tell the police that there was somebody there that wouldn't leave. Now, again, it helps if you're Irish to appreciate the humor of that, but they, I think, led a pretty rough life, and they probably had to take their fun where they could get it. And I don't think there was... I apologize for that. That's probably my wife Terry calling to check on that. Anyway, that's the end of the story. We'll go from there and talk to you later.
So we are into our final phase of our corned beef and cabbage, and I just want to say a shout out to Ron. He did a great job following my instructions about the potatoes and carrots, and I hope you enjoyed his story about his Aunt Jenny and what they had done. It's a story that I've heard many times, and each time it's just hard to believe that they would do that, but you know, they do have, their sense of humor is none other.
As the Irish say, it was grand.
It was grand, it was grand. So we are about 2 hours for our final cooking time, and we are going to add our cabbage. Now I cut up a whole head of cabbage and kind of chunky slices, and I'm just going to put in, and hopefully I can get as much in of the cabbage because I do enjoy, as I said earlier, I love cabbage, I love carrots, and once it's cooked down, the smell and the aroma of the corned beef and the garlic and the onions is really good. I was with my aunt and uncle and my mom for a couple hours, and we were talking, and again, Mom was thankful she was not coming for dinner. I asked Aunt Debbie and Uncle Vic if they wanted to come in, and they like corned beef and cabbage, but they thought they were going to stay home. So we're going to have, I would imagine, definitely some leftovers. We are going to have Bill over tonight. It's our friend Peg's brother-in-law, and Peg's out of town. So he's going to be joining us this evening for corned beef and cabbage, and we have some Irish soda bread that we're going to have to complete our meal. And so looking forward to that, and then we can definitely say that we have celebrated St. Patty's Day.
It's Uncle Bill, actually.
Well, yes, Ryan, we call him Uncle Bill, so yeah.
Can I tell them why?
Well, Ron, I don't know about that. That's a story. That's a story for another time. So,
Okay.
So we'll have Peg here when we tell that story. So
That'll be good.
these are a little bit larger, and they're kind of the more, whiter of the cabbage head. So that's okay. So we're not going to use that, and that should be enough cabbage. And hopefully I can. It's all going to go in. So that is going to. I want to make sure we got a seal into that so the steam doesn't escape. So I think we are good. So this has another 2 hours to remain cooking, and then we will show you what it all looks like when I bring it out and place it in our platter. So see you shortly. Hello. Well, we have completed our corned beef and cabbage. Ooh, that's a lot of steam coming from that. So I have already taken the corned beef out. I've let that rest for about 15-20 minutes, and we're going to just slice that up because we're about ready to eat. And it's just falling apart. I forget which way they say that you should cut it against the grain, with the grain. We're going to do it this way. So it's very tender. I've tasted it. It's very good. And the cabbage and potatoes and the carrots are ready to go. So I'm just going to slice this. I'm going to bring that out of the crock pot. We're about 9 hours into the cooking time. And again, it all really depends on how big your corned beef brisket is, as far as whether it's going to take that additional to 10 hours, or if we're actually going to be, if it's smaller, because again, this was about a 3.5 pound. So there is the corned beef, and we have some dogs that are ready to wait for anything that has come to the floor. So there's the corned beef, and looks very good, smells delicious. So let me get the cabbage, potatoes, and carrots out. Dip that up. I originally thought about making kind of a gravy. I saw a recipe for a gravy because this is a wonderfully rich broth. But then I thought, I'm not going to do that. I like mustard. I like stone ground mustard, so we're going to have that as well. We have a bay leaf still in there, so I'm going to remove that because we do not want to bite into the bay leaf. It's done its job. I just want to say a shout out to Brittany. Brittany is a follower that's been watching the videos. I know Brittany and her husband Andrew and their 2 twin boys, and she recommended last night that I put the recipes of each of the dishes. I am working on a cookbook, and I'll have these recipes in there, but I have put those under the comment section of the YouTube. So the recipes are there for you. They're all have been uploaded. So thank you, Brittany, for that recommendation. And so we're going to see, and if you like what you see, if you go to YouTube and you hit like and subscribe and even share, that would be wonderful. That would be fantastic, because the key thing is I want people to be able to and want to enjoy cooking like I do and having people over. So I hope you would do that, but if not, that's okay. It's all good. Those that are watching, I appreciate it.
Well, just for the record, this is a learning experience because we didn't know. You have to mark a thing whether it's for kids or not, because if it's for kids, then you don't do comments. So I think I've got all that turned off. But
It's yeah.
As they say in Ireland, it's grand.
Yes. So, and we also have Irish soda bread. So we're going to slice that up as well. So let me get that out of the way. And then we are going to be finished with today's segment. And this Irish bread does have raisins in it. And you can make it with currants, raisins, and there's also a plain Irish soda bread. So we are definitely going to be eating like the Irish do. So thank you so much for joining us today, and blessings.